Well, I've got my opinion on Noah's Ark in the Bible. I believe it is all bull. I don't believe it to be true. And the reason is, when that boat was created, he had to put 2 of each animal on that boat. Well, there were meat eaters he put on that boat. There were animals that had to eat mainly ate trees he had to put on that boat. And other plants. How could he have enough room on that boat for 40 days to feed all those animals, and he had to have extra animals to feed the meat-eating animals? They don't state in there, that, well, God, made sure that the animals wouldn't starve, so he somehow, made them where they couldn't starve. But then, 40 days, that's a month and 10 days. Or a month and 9 days of a flood. The plants can't get sun. So how can the plants grow or stay alive? In underwater that can't be underwater. That can't be, the ground can't be wet for more than 3 days. Because they get root rot. The trees would get root rot. In 10 days, all the plants and everything would be dead and dying from root rot. It's impossible. And then a bird brings a little twig of some leaf plant. Well, if the water is receding, and for the twig of a leaf plant, for a plant to get that size anyways, to have just a piece of it that big, it would have had time to grow. Because you grow plants, you know how long it takes for plants to grow. It's all impossible. Either it flooded a little area and the bird found something from an area that did not flood at all, and that means the whole world did not flood. There's no way to believe it. I mean, the animals that gets off the ship, what do they got to eat when the floodwaters are gone? And you got nothing but dead plants and dirt everywhere. Or mud. And that mud goes pretty deep in the ground. Them big old animals, they step out on the elephants, on that ground and sink in that mud. None of it makes any sense to me, and nobody can make it make sense because nobody was there. I wasn't there. There's no recording of it except what's in a book on paper that, in my opinion, is nothing but hearsay. I believe that whole Bible to be false. All of them. Man created them. Well, be afraid of a God. Be afraid of this. Be afraid of that. I don't believe the God they say to be afraid of is what they say God is. I mean, look. We got murders everywhere. People sitting here praying to God, keep my child safe while they're in school or whatever. And then all of a sudden, some shooter or whatever kills their kid, injures their kid. Well, God didn't answer your prayer. Keep your kid safe. This is a free world. You got freedom to be evil. You got freedom to murder. You got freedom to do this. You got freedom to do that. And you ain't got a God to protect you and your children and whoever else you pray for. If someone survives something, I don't believe it's really because of prayer. I believe it's just because the doctor healed them. Now, it could be something else outside of God that God created that, when people pray, even though it's to God, like to heal something on someone that's, not working right, or like one man was about to go in the hospital over his toe. It was a guy who's a preacher told me about it. Going to go get operation on his toe because it's hurting so bad, and so everybody prayed over his toe, and his toe miraculously healed and no pain. So he didn't need the surgery. Now there are some things it's strange, but then when we look at the things that we see in books, it's too impossible. So, I mean, he said his finger or thumb, there was something wrong with it, and it was hurting, and they prayed over it. It quit hurting. He said he had a pain in his knee, and one time he was in a church, and the preacher came up to him and knew he was in pain. And then when he touched his knee, he jumped and jolted because just touching it lightly made his knee hurt. And the preacher prayed over his knee, and the pain went away. He healed it. He ain't no liar. This man is a good man. He's not in the line like most people. Now, he may tell some fibs here and there, that's light and not that bad, just what they call white lies. But when it's major things, he ain't going to lie. He ain't going to make up stuff. I mean, he has two things about him that was healed with prayer. His thumb and his knee. So, yeah, there's a God. You pray to God, for healing. Get a group of people that's into it and believes in God, believes in that God will heal them, and they pray, and God heals them. That is real. People can't just heal someone on their own. It has to take someone else. That's why they pray to God. They don't just pray over it and we'll heal it and he'll be healed by our energy and no. They ask God to heal their problem, fix their problem. Surgeries, yeah, there are a group of people that get together and pray over someone that's in surgery, and maybe it worked. Maybe it was because, the reason they didn't die was because of prayer. Or it was just because of the doctor knew what he or she was doing. Or the person just wasn't meant to die. There are things that's questionable, but, you can't discount it. So there's some things I'll admit to you can't discount. Discredit. But that Noah thing, I think it's bullshit. Because there's nothing in it that explains anything about how those animals was able to survive for 40 days without extra food. Extra animals in there to feed the animals that were sitting in there. And there can't be they had babies. Well, it takes months for an animal to have a baby. It takes 28 days for an egg to hatch. And then they're little bitty. That ain't going to feed an animal. That's a snack. Like a cupcake. So there's things ain't nobody going to convince me that was real. I believe man made that. A man living in the belly of a whale, I don't believe that. I think the man made that crap up. He just happened to make it to sea, his ship sank. He just happened to make it to land. Oh, I was swallowed up by it. I got to make up something. I can't look like a fool. Oh, I was inside of the belly of a whale. Oh, you was? Oh, shit. Just believing it without question. That's what people do with religion and government. Just believe without question. We say so, don't question it, and that's the way it is. Okay. Don't question Trump. Trump's the real deal. Well, if you say so. Okay. Dur. Everybody's crazy. We're only supposed to be, we're not supposed to be believing in a bunch of stuff that man tells us, and we're to question everything, and we're to look at everything and get our own perceptive of everything, or perception. Get our own perspective, our own perception, instead of going by what somebody else says and just agreeing with it. That's what an idiot does. It's what someone who's just stupid does. They don't question. They ain't intelligent. You go, wait a minute, that don't sound right. Or that don't look right. But that's what I believe about that Noah's Ark thing. I don't believe it was real. That boat had to have been bigger to have plenty of animals and plants on it to feed the animals for 40 days. Not all those animals could eat hay, because hay lasts a while. Everybody knows that does farming or animals. You buy a big bale of hay and it sits there and lasts for weeks. Unless you got a bunch of animals eating off of it, it's eating within, a few days. But, it's common sense. People just need more common sense. Start questioning stuff. Start looking at stuff in a different way. In the right way. Instead of just believing what somebody tells you. Okay, if that's what you say, I'll believe it. Your truth is my truth now. No. It's all opinions. It's all speculation. We don't know anything about history. Everything's a fraud. Everything's a lie. Everything was rewritten. Even the Bible was rewritten in 1908. There's proof. Look it up. Was the Bible rewritten in 1908? Or who rewrote the Bible in 1908? It was written to be a Zionist Bible. In 1908, they changed it. And that's what everybody's going by. Oh, but now Trump's making his own Holy Bible. With his name on it. To put in schools. This is what leaders do. They change history. They rewrite history. And then say, here's something new. We'll get rid of that old stuff. Because it was bull. It wasn't the truth. They'll just accept it. I'm the chosen one. All these foolish sheeple. Y'all keep being sheep. You keep believing all these other people. Don't question. Just believe. It's all good. Stay ignorant or stupid. Your choice. Not me. I'm going to question everything. I'm the way I am because of God. I'd rather know the truth. God, help me learn the truth. Help me know the truth. And then the truth comes. I decipher it. I look at it. I question it. And then I look around and see what's going on. Actions. What's going on? Not just what's on paper and out of somebody's mouth. That's how we get educated, to know what's truth and what's not, to know what's real and what's not. Religions and governments or leaderships don't want you to do that. They tell you, do not question, just believe, just have faith. Faith alone is not enough. Seeing is believing. I see the miracles, then yes, there's a God, because they're praying to a God to do a miracle on someone. But to ask God to keep people safe, whatever, ain't gonna work. All these mass shootings, all these school shootings, all these kids, God, don't hurt the kids, but you got a free will right to do so. I ain't gonna stop you. Even if other people ask me to before it happens. And then you're praying for them to be to make it through surgery or whatever if they're in the hospital from being shot. It don't make no sense. It was allowed to happen. The only thing that's good is prayer to heal the sick, to heal the weak, to heal the injured. That's it. Everything else, or to get enlightenment, to get truth from God, and to be there for you, because you're there for God. Everything else you got to go out and get. God ain't going to say, here's you work. Here's you money. You got to go out and get it. Here's you food. No, you got to go work or go out and hunt and fish or grow your stuff to have food. God ain't going to give you anything. And people don't understand it. I get it. Sitting here, well, ain't going out and you ain't got nothing when you ain't got no job and making money to get what you need, or you ain't getting up and growing stuff to have some sort of food, since we can't freely hit, fish, and hunt without permission. But I'm going to leave it at that. You all take care. Bye.